Everyone believed Chike had the perfect life. The money, the cars, the powerful business connections, and the kind of handsomeness that made even married women glance twice. But on a hot Wednesday afternoon in Lekki, as shoppers hurried past the mall entrance, a thin, ragged man with dusty feet grabbed the hem of a woman's dress. People shouted. Someone tried to pull him away, calling him a madman. Until the woman turned, and the man stepped back as though he had seen a ghost. Nelma, he whispered. The woman froze, elegant, glowing, completely transformed. Her beauty returned, multiplied. Her younger sister beside her gasped, staring at the man who once lived like a king but now looked like the city had spit him out. The man dropped to his knees. "Please, forgive me." Shoppers paused. Cameras came out. But Nelma's voice remained calm, almost too calm. "When I needed you most, you left me. And now that life has left you, you want to return? Chike, this world has a way of balancing things." She turned away. He remained on his knees, and for the first time since losing everything, Chike knew what true regret felt like. That moment did not begin here. It began 1 year earlier, on the day Pride walked into his marriage like an uninvited guest. Let me take you back to how it all began. Lagos, a bustling city in Nigeria, had always favored Chike. Born in Surulere, raised by a mother who worshipped the ground he walked on, he grew into the kind of man the city admired. Ambitious, sharp, with an arrogance he wore like cologne. When he met Nelma at a tech conference in Victoria Island, he was immediately drawn to her quiet elegance. She was beautiful in a soft, dignified way, slim, average height, caramel skin, gentle gray eyes. She carried herself like someone raised with values, not vanity. And she loved him sincerely. Their wedding was the event people envied. A perfect couple, a perfect love story, a perfect beginning. But perfection, they say, never lasts. Some months later, Chike began to notice changes. Nelma's cheeks grew fuller. Her waistline widened. Her appetite increased uncontrollably. Her energy levels dropped. She tried to hide it, the shame, the confusion, the inability to control her body. But Chike noticed. At first, they all thought it was pregnancy hormones. But after every doctor's appointment and pregnancy kit, no signs of pregnancy anywhere. So it continued. And instead of concern, he responded with cruelty. "You are eating like someone possessed," he snapped one morning. "Look at yourself. Is this how my wife should look?" She cried silently, defending herself. Between sobs, she tried to swallow. "I don't know what is happening to me. I'm trying, baby, I am." "Then try harder," he responded harshly. But Chike didn't care. His wealthy friends mocked him at bars. His mother's insults came in like strife. Fat and ugly, that is what she has become. "My son, be careful. Women like this can destroy a man's name." But what worsened was that of her own mother. My daughter, slim down, no. Marriage is not stable like that. Men have wandering eyes. Take slimming tablets if that would help you in reducing your fats. She couldn't believe that her mother would say that. But instead, she tried to do what she said. And instead of it reducing her, it increased her weight more. Everyone blamed her. No one checked her health, except her younger sister Grace, 24, fiery tongue, heart of gold, and the only person who saw the truth. Ine, something is wrong with your body. This is not normal. We need a hospital. But Nelma kept postponing. Chike kept mocking. Her body kept breaking. The day she fainted, she had been doing laundry under the afternoon sun. Her strength vanished suddenly, a blackout, a collapse, a thud. She lay outside the house unconscious. Grace arrived minutes later, an unexpected visit that saved her life. She screamed for help, called a taxi, and rushed her sister to the hospital. Dr. Emmanuel Lukem, a calm, firm, soft-spoken 37-year-old endocrinologist, attended to her. After hours of tests, the truth arrived like a heavy storm. Nelma, he said gently, your immune system is attacking your thyroid gland. You have Hashimoto's disease. It's causing the weight gain, fatigue, and mood changes. This is not your fault. She cried, not because of the diagnosis, but because she wished Chike cared enough to be there. Grace immediately called him. He cut the call. She called again. He ignored it. She called the 10th time and left a message. If she dies, it's on your head. Only then did he show up, 3 hours later, smelling of another woman's perfume. He walked into the ward, arms folded, eyes cold. Nelma's face lit up with relief. She explained everything, the tests, the illness, the reason behind her weight gain. Baby, we've known the cause of my uncontrollable weight gain. I have an autoimmune disease that is fighting my body, but the doctor said I could manage the illness. She waited for him to hold her, to say, I'm sorry, to comfort her. Instead, Chike laughed. A dry, mocking, cruel laugh. So this is what you're using to excuse your laziness? Nelma froze. He shook his head. I can't do this. I'm done. I want a divorce. He spoke without remorse for her. A sharp pain pierced her heart, sharper than the illness itself. Okay, she whispered. If that is what you want, I will sign. Those were the last words she said to him as his wife, as he walked out of the hospital, smiling like he won the lottery. His mother applauded him for that and even threw a little party with her friends for the success of her son living an unhappy marriage, according to her. Her mother sided with him and blamed her for allowing such sickness to destroy their marriage. Nelma was abandoned, sick, broken, alone. Except for Grace. Grace slept on the hospital chair for weeks, never complaining, never leaving. Dr. Emmanuel recommended treatments that slowly began to help. Medication, hormone regulation, therapy. 3 months later,
Nelma began to recover, physically and emotionally. Grace shared every tiny progress. She kept food logs. She reminded her sister she was still beautiful. She fought anyone who spoke negatively. Nelma healed, slowly, delicately, painfully, like a flower growing back after a storm. But while she rose, the beginning of Chike's downfall began. Beatrice, 29, tall, slim, beautiful. That Instagram body look became Chike's pride. He took her to the most expensive mall for shopping and changed her wardrobe to expensive clothes that suit her taste, something Nelma never did while married to him. She claimed she was an expert in tech and would want to help Chike's company to grow further. So he showed her his company, boasted about his achievements, let her into meetings, gave her access to finances. She smiled sweetly, wore designer clothes he paid for, took pictures with his cars, and stole from him every single day. Then the cracks began to show. Money leaked. Clients complained. Products failed. Loans piled up. Doors shut in his face. Still, Chike believed he was untouchable until he wasn't.
In 3 months, his factory shut down. Major customers poured out. Banks came for their collateral, house, cars, assets. His mother's insults became thunder. "You left a good woman. You destroyed yourself. Foolish boy." He was furious at his mother and blamed her too for her involvement. "You are not any better, Mama," he shouted angrily. "You were as cruel as I was, so that makes the two of us." His mother scoffed and ended the call. He threw his phone to the hard floor and it cracked. He didn't care as he screamed at the top of his voice at his empty apartment. Beatrice disappeared the moment the money dried up, leaving with jewelry, laptops, business documents, and every naira she could grab. Chike stood in his empty apartment with an eviction notice in his hand, realizing he had been living on borrowed grace. Within weeks, he was on the streets, sleeping at motor parks, surviving on scraps, begging for change. And Lagos, the same city that once bowed to him, walked past him without pity. While Chike was falling apart, Nelma was rising. Her treatment worked beautifully. Her weight stabilized. Her energy returned. Her glow came back. Her confidence multiplied. Dr. Emmanuel, Grace, and a small circle of genuine people formed her support system. She learned to love her body. She learned to love her life again. She learned she was never the problem. Within months, Nelma became healthier and happier than she had ever been in her marriage. She got a remote job. She moved into a new apartment with Grace. She started living. Not surviving, living. Then came the day everything aligned. Grace and Nelma went shopping at a mall in Lekki. Laughter, bags, a fresh breeze of freedom. Then, a hand grabbed Nelma's dress. Grace reacted instantly, swinging her handbag at the frail man. "Leave him alone, you madman!" But the moment Nelma saw his face, she froze. "Chike?" Grace stopped mid-swing, stunned. Standing before them was the man who once climbed the ladder of Lagos success, now reduced to shivering bones, sunburned skin, cracked lips, and eyes filled with shame. He knelt down, tears mixing with dust. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me." People stared, phones recorded, whispers spread like wildfire. Nelma swallowed hard. She had forgiven him long ago, not for him but for herself. She said quietly, "I forgave you, but forgiveness doesn't mean returning to what broke me." He trembled. "We can start again. I'll change. I'll be better. I promise." She stepped back. "When I needed you, you mocked me. When I was dying, you left me. When I was weak, you crushed me. But now that life has dealt with you, you remember me?" His tears fell harder. She continued, voice steady and unshakable. "Chike, not everything lost should be found again." Grace put her arm around her sister, glaring at him. "Let's go," she said, and they walked away, leaving him kneeling at the mall entrance as shoppers murmured, "That is the man who left his sick wife. Look at how karma dealt with him. God is alive."
In the weeks that followed, Chike disappeared from his usual begging spots. People said he moved somewhere far to start over. Some said he went to a relative in Ikorodu. Some said he was working at a small mechanic workshop. No one knew for sure. But one thing was certain. He finally understood the lesson life had been trying to teach him. Pride destroys faster than any illness. Cruelty returns to its sender. Good people are rare, and once lost, they don't come back. And somewhere in Lagos, as Nelma laughed freely with her sister, she whispered a quiet prayer. "Thank you, God, for saving me from what I thought I needed." Because sometimes survival is not winning someone back. Sometimes survival is learning to walk away and never turn back. If this story touched you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with others that need to see this video. Until next time, stay blessed and always be kind.